tango.
Bueno, deja ahí.
Y el bandoneo.
Uno, dos, tres, cuatro.
Right now there are approximately somewhere between 800 to 1,200 dancers in DC, tango dancers, of which you would say maybe 400 to 500 are serious dancers who you will see on the dance floor just about every other day of the week. And so, yeah, it's a big community, but it's always good to try to reach out to other segments. For the last 2 years I worked with George Washington University, and I was an organizer for the Tango Club over there. And we were trying to reach the community of university students. We spearheaded a Tango Club, which is established now at GW. We also did the same thing at Georgetown, and we also did the same thing at American University. Exception here, you're saying, or in general?
In the universities?
It took a while. It took a while because people have all the interest in all the dances, as young people do. But we were able to get some young dancers, tango dancers, to try to motivate them to see what it was like, and we gave a lot of free presentations, and it was very good, and people began to show up, and sometimes we had classes of 25 to 40 people, and at least at GW, and I know that at Georgetown, I remember the first classes that we had, there were about 50 people showed up at one point, and we had to turn away some people.
Wow.
Yeah, so yeah, it's big. And so, and this is a new generation of tango dancers, so this is good. Some of them are here tonight, by the way, so it's good to see that.
What do you think is the appeal for young people in tango?
Cool moves. And if that works for them, that's great. But eventually they will mature themselves as dancers, and they will really go beyond cool moves and into really what is the essence and the spirit of tango dancing, which is a very internal dance. It's not a show-off dance, unless you're in performance, which is entirely different. It's a dance that you dance from within. And if you have somebody you're dancing with who enjoys it as much and is also skilled as much as you are, you will find yourself having a very good communication, because it is a dance that the man proposes and the woman responds. So it's a dialogue that goes on.
My name's Alex Russell. I live in Washington, and this is where I learned to dance tango. I started 2.5 years ago after seeing a show and a concert and a milonga, a social dance at the Argentine embassy. Signed up for a class at a local dance studio called Joy of Motion. I had an Argentine instructor. We started out with 24 people, and at the end there were 7 of us left standing. And because it's not easy, and it's, you know, it takes practice, and she was the one who told me, this instructor told me about this practice, this practica, this session here at the library. I wasn't really familiar with the social dancing, Tango Salon. And so one of the big discoveries in dancing it was the connection between the dancers. You know, even if it's a total stranger, you're moving together, and that's a really wonderful feeling.
I'm one of the tangueros of Washington, D.C. Each spring and summer we have this Sunday evening milonga from 7 to 10 in Freedom Plaza. Milonga is Spanish for gathering. So people get together to sit, talk, reminisce with friends, as well as to dance. Milonga has a second meaning, which is a type of dance. Generally, there are 3 major dances from Argentina. There's Argentine tango, Argentine waltz, and Argentine milonga. What you hear in the background right now is tango. The beat is 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 4/4 time. Waltz sounds just like a waltz. There's 3 beats. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And milonga is like a fast merengue. It's been said that tango is the dance of unrequited love. So when the woman I was dating dumped me, I took up tango.
Where had you heard about it from before?
There's a lot of tango lessons given in the Washington, D.C. Metropolitan area. We found it on the internet. So I started to take lessons from one teacher, then I gravitated to another teacher, then another one, and this third teacher stayed my teacher for 8 consecutive years. Private lessons every week.
Wow.
It's been said that this dance is addictive. That's an understatement. Some people wonder what is the attraction to the dance. All I can say is those who dance tango, no explanation is necessary. For those who do not dance tango, no explanation is possible. I remember so well this woman I danced tango with in Florida. I thought I knew what close embrace meant. She taught me what closer embrace meant. If I had held her any closer to me, she would have been behind me. I could feel our hearts beating. The Argentines have an expression: 4 legs, 2 bodies, 1 heart. The Department of Homeland Security. Right now, somebody else is watching the border while I'm dancing tango.
Is it easy to fit tango into your everyday life? You said it's sort of addicting.
No, you have it backwards. You fit your everyday life into tango.
So what's your name?
My name is Mehmet Esen.
And what do you do?
What I do, I'm a portfolio manager for Montgomery County. That's my daytime job, and tango is my hobby.
So you're the DJ here at the...
Tonight, exactly,
okay.
tonight. Every week there's a different DJ. So we are rotating. All the DJs from Washington, D.C. rotate. The tango music is not foreign to Turkish people. It's in the culture and the music. So I grew up with the tango music, but I never danced. My father's generation danced tango. I was dancing West Coast swing, and one day my partner started to dance tango, and I got curious, and I tried, and I loved it, and I stick to it. It's a fabulous dance. Music is great. The concept is wonderful. So and then you can grow forever. It's not like you will learn and excel in overnight. That's not going to happen. I would say a mixture of Zen and dervishes with really listening, understanding yourself and the partner and the whole. You have to live in the moment. You have to feel the music, and you have to reflect the music, and all the ingredients that makes you become a creative on the dance floor. That's the fun about it. So this dance, what you watching here right now, is every dance is unique. It's not choreographed, so you're creating at that moment.
Since you've been in the DC Tango community, have you feel that has changed at all?
Oh yeah, I started in the year 2000. There were few tango dancers at that time, but lately it has grown a lot. All those 10 people, I would say, in the year 2000, they started to teach other people, and we started organizing other events, and it has grown a lot. As you can see, it is 8:20 right now. It's 95 degrees, and we have I think 50 people. Hopefully we'll have another probably 50, end up 100. Yeah, it's growing.
Yeah, it's committed to be out here at this temperature.
Yeah, it is, definitely. But at the end, it's a commitment. You cannot learn it in overnight. It's like learning ballet. You cannot learn it overnight. But it's easier. Ballet, if you're 40 years old, you cannot learn it. Forget about it. But tango, if you walk well, you can dance tango well. So that's the beauty of it.
Yeah. Have you seen many young people out dancing tango?
Age between 14 and 19. So I think more and more I see younger people from universities joining us. That's the good news. We have the grassroots. Yeah. But it's fun. I mean, you will see an older person dancing with a younger person, or vice versa. It's great.
And when I started, very difficult because I came from overseas and I'm kind of shorter than other people, and especially Asian is kind of big goal for me actually, because myself, my culture is not close with the woman in a public place. So that was most challenging things. Two energies colliding. So my energy, the other party energy. Depends on person, most case, yes. And you see Oriental yin-yang sign, and I can feel that way. Everybody had a different tango style, but I can feel some feeling. So I can journal from there to 2-3 minute dancing, and then just time the feeling, and beyond all the things gone. Just meditation, yes. Some occasion and really feel good about each other. Some of them just technical way, but I'm pursuing the feeling. That moment is I just want to go together. So we're not asking all kind of things, just go dancing. But and then I have a quite a difficult occasion when I learning tango is first beginning is step. And then I was dancing with a lady. She was not happy about my tango. She was very upset about me. You should not be here to waste my time. Public place. And it was kind of difficult, but I didn't give up. And I met one beautiful person. She's experienced a lot of different dancing, especially tango, many years. I'm very sure she's a very tall lady. I do the tango with her, and she absorbs all my energy. Very unique way. Naturally I coming out from my movement, and then she take all of them, and they make me such a special tango guy. And since that, I'm fun with everybody. You can see everybody have all different character of tango. Every individual have such something different. They're learning all the basic things, but once going in there, they coming personality and character. Yes, my things sometimes are very energetic.
You talk to your relatives in Korea about tango?
No, my sister came with my nephew, And I never say to them I'm tango. And if I say that, well, maybe they think I'm out of line, you know.
So Koreans don't accept tango?
New generation, yes, but
Yeah.
Christian background, so not a Korean Christian. I don't think it's not very, desirable movement for the. I think it's open-minded, but culturally it's difficult because now I heard Korean, some couple plays in university, and every day they do the tango, so I'm looking for that, but still, yes. Whenever I go any city, I found out tango. I'm go nighttime, yeah. Chicago, New York, Boston, and San Francisco, everywhere tango. Yeah. Even Thailand, they have tango too.
Oh, you dance in Thailand? No way. I didn't know that.
Thailand, yeah.
Where do you
Certainly do, right here in Central Park. In 12 years, we've not missed a Saturday. As you can tell, rain or shine. Either sunshine or downpour as we're having tonight. And we always come down here to the dairy. What I consider the most romantic milonga in New York City. But the only time you get to experience it is when it rains.
Also, I know we forgot to pass the hat. We have to pass the hat or else we're very poor. So the hat is up here and we're going to pass the hat around soon. Help us out, especially in the rain. And we are all very famous. How many people can say that we dance tango in the rain in Central Park? Enjoy it. And don't forget the hat when he goes around. Thanks.
But it wasn't dictated by the rhythm as all the other dances were. And it seemed to have a certain etiquette or protocol to it, kind of like chess. And that it has limited moves, but then it has unlimited foreplay, if you could say, so to speak. And then the idea of the closeness, the intimacy, just the sensuality of the dance is where you're always kind of in your own space with other dances. Tango, it literally takes two to tango. And I found that that was much truer than just the expression. So then for the next 3 years, I went 6 nights a week doing lessons or workshops or going to milongas. So I felt like I could really dance this dance. And from that, there weren't enough dances, I felt. So I started helping either co-host or start creating my own milongas. So I guess you could say I became a tango evangelist.
Once you get into tango, you keep dancing, you doesn't stop. You don't stop at all. Nobody does stop because it's an addiction. It's the story of life itself. It has aggression, passion, romance, sensuality, and everything you can see in dancing. It doesn't matter what weather condition it is, it's still people go and dancing. That's what it is. It's all about dancing. It's originated in Argentina, in the street. Now it's all over the world. People have so much passion to do this. Really great. I can't stop dancing because I can do it. I have the passion.
Okay, awesome. So if you're wondering why this video is so bumpy, it's because we're right
Yeah,
now being
that's what I told you I can do in my car.
in future times that I might be able to learn too, so I can come and dance.
How long have you been seeing it? Is this your first time seeing it, or
First time I see it.
first time seeing it?
I was here 2 weeks ago for my very first lesson, so this is my second time.
What got you into tango?
A friend of mine, actually, a friend of my mother's, dances almost every like 4 or 5 times a week, actually, and I just thought that it looked really fun, and it seems like something that people of all ages enjoy, and it's just like a social gathering that's, I don't know, you meet really interesting people.
How old are you, may I ask?
I'm 23.
Okay, do you feel like it's hard to find people like your age out here?
Kind of, but I guess I don't really care.
Tango is popular wherever people try to do it. And the reason it doesn't exist in other cities is possibly because they just don't know about it. But I've seen tango is growing in so many cities around the United States that I'm actually not thinking that New York is anything special about it. But the social dance of tango, the social dance, not the stage dance, could actually be acquired rather easily. And it all depends on how good you want to be. If you want to be the best dancer, then you really have to spend a lot of money to get the skill to be the best dancer. But if you just want to be an okay social dancer, then being able to walk around the floor with your partner may be enough. And you don't have to do more than that.
So do you think that tango can be for everyone?
Oh, it totally can be for everyone. In fact, that's what it was originally. I know when I speak to my dad, who's Argentine and he's 93 years old, he tells me, you know, that when he was a young man, tango came out of every window and door in Argentina, and people really everybody knew how to dance to some extent. But they weren't self-conscious about it the way we are now, that it's exactly a certain kind of a step and a certain kind of a posture. They did whatever they heard in the music, and they weren't inhibited about it the way I think people are now, because they're not used to really dancing, and so they're learning how to do it, and they're a little bit uncomfortable with it, but eventually they get into it. But the more natural, it's something that's available to anyone. If you like music, if you can move your head to the music when you hear a song, if you can tap your feet to the music when you hear the song, you're already dancing. It's just a question of training the rest of your body to follow your feet.
It's kind of like learning a new vocabulary. It's like studying English or Spanish or German or Chinese or anything. Each thing you learn develops your adverbs, your adjectives, your sentence structure, because that's what tango really comes down to. It's not how many steps you know, but how well can you express yourself with your partner as you're dancing. And naturally, whatever language they want to speak, the wider your vocabulary, naturally the deeper in conversation you can go. Except here, we're not talking actual words, we're talking dance. So I would say that you might want to get a second job to finance your tango lessons when you're first starting out. You know, if I don't know a language, all I need to do is find somebody who knows that language and learn it. And tango is no different. And yes, naturally, some dances I think are more involved, a little bit more complicated to a degree, like tango, because it does take two, so to speak, to get good at tango, but that it's accessible to anyone. And it does add a new dynamic. It adds a new, not only vocabulary to your life, but a new social dynamic, a new sort of community. And I think especially in New York City, because people are in a way very isolated. You go to your job, you come home, you go to your job, you have your close-knit set of friends, and then all of a sudden you discover this whole new wide array of people that go out several times a week for a dance. And it just builds a whole new form of community. And you meet people from such a wide array of countries and backgrounds, work, so it just adds a lot more flavor to especially being here in New York City. It's just expanded the amount of people I've known, I've met, I've come in contact with, I now associate with, and also the diversity of the whole stratosphere of people knowing that working from the Federal Union Building, you know, all the way that's down to working the streets in Central Park or something. So I find the dynamics quite interesting, and no separation of economic or social barriers. It's just all by someone's passion with a dance, and it happens to be tango. Well, I think the reason why people come to tango is, if you just want to get down to it, is that tango is totally about sensuality and seduction, just the way it began. And I think that people that want to deal with their masculine or feminine side, that tango forces you to come out. It forces you to deal with sensuality. And also, like I was talking earlier, that we're so kind of isolated in New York City that, especially with women, whatever happens on the floor stays on the floor. And women can become very intimate and very sensual and have a very enjoyable time at a certain degree or level that you can in other dances. And you know that what happens in tango stays on the floor, so to speak. It's like an unwritten rule or law. And you can just kind of feel the excitement, the energy. You can participate with a great deal or different level of people, or you can just dance with a certain few or select few that you enjoy dancing with. I think this is what I've noticed in the dance world. Swing, especially in the US, had this exponential growth. It just caught on fire by several movies, by culture, by songs, and it just swelled to unprecedented growth of people going to classes, dances, and events. But I think anything that you take for granted or that comes too easily, so to speak, without a little work and tenacity and hard work at, tango's not that way. I've noticed that tango, since I've been in it 12 years, has grown very steadily and very evenly over this period of time. If you did a chart, it has just had a very nice steady growth. And I think if you charted it out, it's going to continue for the next 5 or 20 years. And we'll just keep growing, because tango, just due to its nature and its difficulty of learning, it kind of sets the line. And people that are really dedicated to it, and after you've paid your dues, so to speak, once you've really had to work at something to obtain something, you just don't let it go instantly. And I think that's what has helped tango so immensely, is that when people have had to go spend all this time and all this money and all these classes, it becomes part of your life. And then when other people see it, they come aboard. So tango does not grow overnight. It has grown at a very slow, steady pace. So I do anticipate tango doubling, tripling in the next 5, 10, 15 years.
It is every woman's dream to have a job where your shoes are tax deductible.
That's great. How long has the All Night Milonga been going on?
7 years. Normally at the All Night Milonga we have about between 200 and 300 people who come and they dance tango all night. At 5 a.m. there's still a lot of people here. We have to push them out the door at 5 a.m. Yeah.
Well, the biggest challenge is, I think, a matter of competition. The thing is, a lot of people here are very friendly with each other, but there are a lot of teachers. Even though all of them are friends with each other, they have to compete in the market for students. So the biggest issue is, I think, finding students that are not already involved with another teacher.
Of course, all dancing has got a lot of lovely things about it. It has the social, it has the best man and woman thing going in life. You could walk up to a perfect stranger, and in 1 second you have your arms around them dancing. So I don't think there's a better way of meeting anyone. So I enjoy that, but I actually enjoy the combination of it all. In other words, all of it is what really makes it. But each one step, the social part of the men and women, they become, we call it the tango community. Like we're part of something. It's a club. You know, when we go there, we know everybody. In fact, when you travel, you'll know people too, because there's always somebody that you're going to know. You go to Jersey, You go to Argentina, you go to Italy, there's always going to be saying, hey, aren't you from New York, you know? So it's really worldwide. So it's very interesting when you go up to a lady, in my particular case, going up to a lady partner and saying, would you like to dance? And wonder what she's going to do. You don't know if she's going to fall on her face or she's going to be a star. But it's always interesting, no matter which way, no matter which path is chosen, it's always fun. And if she's a learner, you're too happy to teach her if she shows that she likes to learn. It's like a very exciting moment for yourself to show someone something nice. And dancing, especially the tango, the Argentina tango, I find nothing better, and I find a lot of people agree with me, very much so.
Lucha por tu amor si no tengo nada que perder. Si no me lo das tú, otro lo hará y volveré como siempre a sentirme bien. Porque sin amor yo no vivo. Soy como el nido, los desaparecidos, los recuerdos olvidados, el mal sabor más escuchado, los asesinatos sin testigos. No mendigo, solo pido porque tengo mucho que ofrecer. Ahí está el placer de saber ese ruido. Aunque me equivoque todo vale, en mi mente en vilo desde el principio. Con la verdad a cuestas, me acuesto con lo mismitico que me levanté. Soy lo mismo que ayer, soy lo que me enseñaron los viejos y viejas que escuché. Déjamelo hacer, yo creo que está bien. Nunca es tarde para rectificar, tú y yo lo podemos hacer. Pierdo esta carga pero estoy en el andén. Aquí no me muevo, no pienso perder el tren. Tengo las palabras mágicas. Papi, escúchame.
Tango was not so a professional thing like now. The old dancers of tango, they didn't came from ballet or other kinds of like dance, like Mora. You know, Mora is a ballet dancer, right? And now she's a tango dancer from a long time ago. But I mean, she came from ballet, but that didn't happen in the past. So it was not so professional. It was something like that you learn in the streets. You know, it's not that you have a tango teacher.
You wouldn't go to a tango school. There weren't tango schools.
No, not at all. Not even a tango hotel. Like you have now, you have a tango hotel. You have lots of people selling tango clothes and tango shoes. You have lots of places for tango shoes. You have lots of milongas. That didn't happen in the past. So I think that what happened is like the tango started to get like more professional.
Yeah.
As well. And the government did a little bit of doing this, organizing these world championships, and like the government started organizing these world championships, or the Tango Day, or for example, they started to talk a little bit more about tango. And because now Argentina is 3-1 with the dollar, so because in the past, like before 2001, we were 1-1 with the dollar, US dollar 1 peso 1. So Argentina was very expensive, was a very expensive country, one of the most expensive countries to travel for foreigners. Mm-hmm. So we have less tourism here. But after the crisis from 2001, Argentina is 3-1 with dollar, so now it's one of the cheapest countries to travel. Mm-hmm. So it's obvious they have to think why the people should come to Buenos Aires. And Buenos Aires, it's important because of football, tango, and meat. So so now it's tango everywhere. Dancing tango, people dancing tango in television or in the streets, and I thought I was very. I kind of like this sexual thing of tango. I think it's very erotic, at the same time very artistic, and I think it's a dance that is, you can't compare tango with other kind of dances. I mean, and it's at the same time it's very, very dark, and very sad sometimes, and very erotic other times. It depends in the tango as well. If it's only instrumental tango, or if it's someone who is, because if you analyze the lyrics of the songs, a lot of lyrics from the songs are very sad, you know, are talking people, because all these songs were written in kind of 1950, like all those times, and difficult times, I don't know. So I wanted to learn, and I went and I met nice people, and yeah, I started having like a tango group.
Yeah, I think when I started tango 8 years ago, when I came here like 3 months into tango.
Oh, really?
I started like 3 months and then I came over here because I wanted to see the city. I wanted to see the city where tango was birthed. So I came. At that time there were more older dancers, more mature. I wouldn't say old. Some were in their 70s and 80s, some were in the middle ages, and some were younger. But at that time there weren't that many milongas for younger people. But now on this trip there are a lot more. I actually, since the last 5 or 6 years, have been more and more milongas and practicas organized by younger dancers. You know, like Practica X with Misha Malcolm and some other in the Tango Cool group. So there is a trend because there are more young people dancing tango, but their moves are obviously different, and you also have all these new electronic tango orchestras or music groups springing up.
Like
like Gotan, like Tangueto, like Otros Ailes, you know, like all these other, there's so many, you know, I can't name all of them. So yeah, there is a trend.
That might have a lot to do with the economic situation here. Like it is a leisure activity for a lot of people. And so the younger people that I meet are very, very serious about tango. And that's the difference with tango and any other kind of dance, is it's much more a lifestyle. And so to find somebody that is going to college or is going to school or just started their first job, it would be very difficult for them to go out to milongas that start at 11 o'clock at night, go until 4 o'clock in the morning, and get up and do their work the next day. So, I mean, the people that I find that really consistently go to the same milongas are really the hardcore people that make it more of a lifestyle. And for younger people, I think you have to really fall in love with tango to like make it part of your lifestyle.
Let's say 10, 11, 12, somewhere, someplace to dance tango, and let's say at 2 a.m. they move to another place. And normally, for example, tonight is a good night for to arrive at La Viruta at 3:30 a.m. That's the time where everybody that dances tango, really loves tango, let's say, all of a sudden the place gets empty at 3, between 3 and 3:30, and at 3:30, people starting to arrive, like you see 500 more people arriving, and till 6 a.m.
500 people arriving at La Viruta.
Exactly.
It's very late. It's always very late. And I fell asleep, you know. I don't want to pay 15 pesos as well every time that I go. And I don't want to wait till 3:30 a.m. to go to dance because I'm sleeping.
Yeah.
You know. So a lot of people that goes there is because they are dancers, so they work at night, or because they have another kind of jobs.
Is it possible to be like a casual tango dancer? Can you kind of like drop in a class here and there and still be able to enjoy milongas, or like does it need?
It's absolutely possible, and I think the strongest point that I'm learning as I meet more people that are really tango fanatics, is that everybody has their own philosophy about it, and it's very, very unique. So yeah, you can definitely find. I know girls that I meet here that they come to the classes casually once a week, once every 2 weeks. And I see them in milongas and they dance, but it's not like the depth of their enjoyment is very superficial, which is fine because they enjoy it. But for a lot of people I meet, they really want to enjoy it. Like their enjoyment comes from being good at it and from becoming better and developing.
But it's still not popular, you know. It's getting more popular than in the past, because maybe in the past it was not. You are not going to think that. A girl of 20 years was going to dance tango. But now it's possible, you know. There's a lot of people who is dancing tango, but there's still a lot of people who is not dancing tango. Most of my friends are not related tango in any way.
They don't like tango music?
They don't listen to tango music. They don't go to dance tango. And I have tango friends, you know.
Yeah.
But that's because I met them in tango environment.
10%, I think. Yeah. Young people, because comparing to like I don't know if old people, but in their 30s or 40s, like more common.
Yeah.
And then young people from 18 to 30, I think it's very usual.
What do they prefer instead of tango?
Electronic music, cumbia, I don't know, more like rude music.
Yeah. No, I understand what you mean.
So, young people started now, some people, before getting married. But this is brand new in this area, no?
Yeah.
In 40, 50, everybody dance tango.
Yeah.
90%, everybody was the popular dance, not like today. So now starts people, lonely people start dancing tango.
But the young people are doing it just for fun. They're not lonely people, right?
Okay, but it's a little quantity till now.
Yeah.
I hope in some more time they start dancing tango. 10%, 20%, but less than 50,000, menos de 50,000. Los que bailamos tango once a month at least. Go to milongas or whatever. We know many people, the same people always. But okay, new people entering, of course, and people like you told, from all around the world. Much cities in many places. Some quantity of Argentine people, yes, they go around many different milongas and you can meet them in those places. But fortunately now, there is a lot of pilgrims, I call pilgrims to European, Americans, Asiatic, who came to La Meca. Y Buenos Aires es la meca del tango, and come for our mezquitas, which are our milongas.
Mezquitas?
Yes, the place in which Muslims pray.
Oh, I see.
When I was in France, everyone was telling me, "Oh, you're going to Buenos Aires, you're going to dance tango," and I was like, "No, it's like a touristic thing. I don't want to be in this massive phenomenon of tango. It's money more than other thing." And eventually, I'm here, and it's what I prefer in Buenos Aires.
Here, one of the most important part of the milongas in Buenos Aires, the tourists feel the empty spaces on the milongas. In the low season, the milongas are empty of people.
Yeah.
So the tourists are the most of the crowd in the milonga. So when I was young, tango was the music of my grandpas. My father don't dance tango. My father danced rock or beat or agogo when he was young. My grandfathers maybe hear tango and dance tango. But tango is born again in Buenos Aires.
Those years from, let's say, the 60s to the late 80s, in Europe, tango was something that was very in, very popular, very sensual. Instead, in Argentina, nobody cares about tango. There was no people learning and very few people dancing tango. The culture was totally different. Early 90s, there was a tango company, somebody that had the idea of creating a tango group and travel to the US. and they present this tango show in New York. That was very risky, business-wise, but they did it, and they went to New York, and they had a big success. They called Tango Argentino. And from that moment on, since it was a big success in Broadway, and then they did a world tour and started to become famous, so it started to catch up a little bit more in Argentina. It was in the news, and people started to know that, and they started to associate it with the soccer, because it was like an Argentinian victory, this success of this tango company. And slowly they started to light the torch of what you see again these days. People, Argentinian people, learning again, teaching again, all different styles of the dance, and actually the tango dance, and all over the world also. You see in Buenos Aires people from all over the world coming to learn and to teach in their home places. I was allergic to tango because my generation, we grew up hating tango. Basically, it was something popular not to like tango. Since I'm an Argentinian, many times all the people used to ask me to dance tango also. And since I didn't know how to dance tango, I have to confess that I used to lie a little bit. And was a pending things to do for me to learn at least the basics of the tango. And that's how I started to learn a few months ago, and now I'm hooked. I like it. I started to like it, to love it actually. Every dance you achieve a gap that you express your inside and you connect with your partner. In tango, you not only have that connection, you experience that connection with your partner that you're dancing with. But also is a mix of sensuality, spirituality, and the joy of enjoying the rhythm is something you have to try it. I'm selling you tango, buy it, it's good for you.
on vacation.
Yes.
No. You don't speak Spanish though, right?
I don't speak Spanish at all.
Okay, but so how do you know where to get around in Buenos Aires without knowing?
There's so many information, online. H. Milonga, La Viruta, Salon Canning, they have a website. And I know that, we have this, in H. Milonga, you pick up this magazine and you see all the information about Milonga, practica, and classes. So that's where I get the information.
Have you met a lot of other foreigners in your time here?
Yes, I met some people from New York, and across the room there are two Japanese people from Tokyo who are my friends. In Tokyo it's very big. I would say it's as big as in New York, and it's a little bit different. Each Milonga is smaller than in New York, but we have probably more Milongas each night in Tokyo. And the dancing style is a little bit more nuevo in Tokyo. Yes, in New York, people like dancing in traditional style, except, young people. But in Tokyo, nuevo is a little bit more common. Well, in some sense, because women and men are a little bit conservative, they don't like close embrace maybe. They feel a little bit more comfortable in open embrace. If you go to some of the classes where there are not many foreigners, I'm usually the only foreigner, and plus Asian, so I get lots of attention. And then when you go to class, sometimes people look at you with some suspicion, like what, can he dance and blah blah blah. And as the class goes by, I get to practice with these people, and then I get to practice with each one of them. And when they realize I can dance a little bit, they seems to be extra happy about it. So I had the right expectation. I know how easy or difficult to get, cabeceo at Milonga, the eye contact at Milonga. Cabeceo. Yeah. Well, cabeceo is a system where, at Milonga, you don't go to women to us dance verbally. You just send some eye contact across the floor, and then women catches your eye contact, and then she nods, or she may ignore, but when she nods, man walks to the lady, and then the dance starts. It's in the United States, people tend to, people more casual, so people just ask, do you want to dance, blah blah blah, but here it's a little bit more formal, so it takes time to get used to the system of cabeceo.
You went to Buenos Aires to Tango?
Yes, I did. Yeah, Tango. It was very. Well, that's a little. It's very intimidating because it's like it's not like here you go and ask a woman to dance and stuff like that. It's not. It's more of the eye contact, and it's kind of funny because it's eye contact. You have to look at them, and they look at you, and it's pretty much like do you want to dance, like that, and it's funny because you look at some woman and they're like. They do that, and they're like, they put their hand up. This is no joke. It's kind of, but once you get in, and maybe once they see you dance a little bit, and they said, okay, this guy knows how to dance. But if they see you dance and you get up, and then after that, then you get dances, So I mean, it worked for me, I had some friends, and I danced with their wives or their girlfriends, and a couple of people saw me, so I was able to ask some women and they they danced with me, which was great. But that was not at every milonga. Every night there's hundreds of milongas. It's so busy. But you might go to another one and you might not even dance that night.
Because you won't be able to get dance.
Yeah, because you won't be. It's kind of tough. It's sometimes you get lucky. I mean, some nights I was dancing the whole night. In some places it's different.
It's eye contact, right?
Yeah.
The way I analyze it, and they admit it too, because to eliminate rejection, the embarrassment of being rejected. And I actually learned to not sit among the women. I try not to. I rather stand around than sit at the table. It's like so uncommon. What am I going to do? I sit here, cross my leg 100 times?
So you get more dances when you're standing?
I feel more comfortable to move around without being like a fixture. People could see you, what you're not doing or what you're doing. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't feel comfortable that way, and it feels like you're being so passive. The unfortunate thing is it's really a game. Okay, even though people are not looking for romance or whatnot, but it's a game of you have to dress attractively.
Yeah.
It's the game. It shouldn't be, but it is like that.
What are the other tricks to the game?
Huh?
What are the other tricks to the game?
No, I'm just saying I treat it as a game. Really, and then I do enjoy dress up, but I don't like the fact that you have to look pretty to get dance.
What does it mean, planchando?
I'm planchando it now.
Planchando.
I'm planchando.
No. Planchando, it means when you're at the milonga and no one wants to dance with you, and you spend all night long sitting on your table waiting for someone, and no one wants to dance with you. And there are two reasons. Maybe one is because you don't dance good enough to the boys, to the men, and the other reason there are a lot of women, and there are a few guys and a lot of women, so the different numbers. So you have to wait sometimes.
Do the guys have planchando much? It's mostly a girl thing.
No.
See you.
Actually,
It's
just
it's
not planchando.
So it's equivalent of wallflowers in United States.
And actually, I have had one woman friend at the time, never saw tango, and then I took her one time to a milonga dance, and her comment was, I mean, she was a young woman and does salsa very sexy, and it's a method. Wow, it's like you were making out on the floor. That's the feedback of a non-dancer.
Yeah.
I said, well, with many things could be possible, that's one thing is impossible because you're really focusing on the dance. It's a concept. Yeah. What you see, in some way the dance is successful, it gives you the sensuality picture.
Con sus árboles tristes que se caen de parado. ¿Quién repite esta raza de uno? Pero ¿quién la repite? Con trabajos y todo. Por una aristocracia a la manera, tan solo sido franco con él mismo. También el tiempo es gordo y no parece. Pichuco de las manos como patio, y ahora que las almas van más calmas, y dentro de su jaula canta un pibe. Recuerde, sueñe y viva Fernando, amado por nosotros, Grita la vida. tengo más remedio que hacerte temblar. Yo soy del barrio de tres esquinas, viejo baluarte de una arrabal, donde florecen como glicinas las lindas pibas de delantal, donde la noche tiene serena su antiguo aroma vuelta al malvón, y bajo el cielo de luna llena duermen las chatas del corazón. Soy de ese barrio de humilde rango.
What are you doing in Argentina?
Studying tango.
Where did you first hear about tango?
Well, my interest in tango came when I was a fan of flamenco dancers. There was an old flamenco dancer named Jose Greco. And I used to see him when I was fascinated by the dance, and that involved into tango. And maybe 12 years ago in Chicago, Forever Tango came to town, and Carlos Gavito was dancing the lead. And then I decided that one day I am going to Argentina and study tango and study with Senor Gavito. Unfortunately, I came in 2006 and Senor Gavito died in 2005, so I never got a chance to study with him. But I have his tapes that I watch with regularity, and I'm still a great admirer of his style.
So, what's it been like being
Oh.
here for tango?
It's been fabulous. It's been fabulous. I'm not very happy with the progress that I've made in my tango. Tango can make my day. I can get up in the mornings and say, oh, what a great day. The birds are singing, the sun is out. I can go to class and dance tango poorly, and my day is gone. It's just devastated, you know. It's like the end of the world.
I felt like I wanted to quit tango.
Oh, now I don't feel like I want to quit.
Oh, I felt so bad about my tango. I'm not wanting to quit, but I wanted to take a really long break.
When was that?
Last Saturday.
Yeah.
Why?
It happens.
It just happens. You have no control over it. You don't even know why. You can't say, this is the reason why I feel so bad.
It's something that you feel.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way it is.
I bet you it happens with Gustavo Nevada. And
Yeah.
it happens with Pablo and Donna. Right? So you're in very good company.
How consoling.
Fabian Salas, probably. Fabian Salas, in fact, I saw him. He's taking a break from tango for a while until like October.
Really?
Why? Yeah, so he's in the same place. He had to take a break, or he doesn't feel good about whatever. So.
You want to send it? It's your break.
Yeah, but you have us. You have us.
No, you'll be gone soon.
No, August 20th. I'm here. You're here forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope not. I hope not.
I live here.
Oh. You live here in DNI?
No. Almost.
Almost. That's the way I feel.
He's part of the furniture.
I am success oriented. I like to do things well. All my endeavors are going to school, martial arts, Tai Chi, et cetera, I've been successful, and it's come kind of easy and everything. And tango does not come as easy as those things. And it's kind of a sense of frustration, particularly when you see other people dance and they dance so well. And Argentina is filled with great tango dancers. At DNI, all the dancers are just absolutely fantastic. And just to see them dance and realize how long it will take for me to get to that level, which will probably be beyond my life expectancy, since I'm now 74.
7'4" and dancing tango.
Yeah, well, 7'4" and dancing tango with really young people with a young male tango is a different style than the closed embraced salon tango. And it takes much more effort because generally when you go to the milongas and dance the closed embrace, you move around in circles. You just circle the floor. You move counterclockwise around the floor, and you stop occasionally and you'll do an ocho because you generally don't have room to do anything else. But generally when you dance neo tango in the clubs, Bishop Malcolm, etc., you can dance in Ideal where they have a great floor. And you can just be so creative and just do so many wonderful things with tango and incorporate other steps. It's a discipline. Tango to me is more than just a dance. It's a way of life. It's you're doing something that you'll never really conquer. I've spoken to some of the good dancers and been dancing 10 or 12 years, and they've had the same frustration that I have. And they're still trying to get better and better and better and better. And I don't think there's any tango dancer that's dancing who thinks that he or she has reached their peak or they've conquered tango. It's very, very elusive, but it's a wonderful experience. It's a wonderful, wonderful experience. But if you start to dance tango, prepare to be humble. You know, you have to leave your ego at the studio door.
Did you anticipate tango to be easier than it's turned out to be then?
Yeah, well, I anticipated that I would get it faster and better than I am getting. I thought with my background in martial arts and Tai Chi with a relatively good balance and movement and everything that I could adapt this to tango. However, what I later realized that I do Tai Chi and I do martial arts alone. It's just me. But when I do tango, there's someone in front of me, this delicate, beautiful creature in front of me, and I have to coordinate my movements with hers. And that's what makes it different. My balance has to be where her balance is, and that's what makes it difficult, dancing with a partner. I think I've met some fantastic people in tango, and since I've been here, and generally speaking, tango people are very friendly, open people. Tango community, as a matter of fact, the tango community here is my family because I don't know really anyone outside of the tango community. I was involved with an expatriate group of English-speaking people, primarily Americans and Brits, when I first got here, but nobody really in that group danced tango, so I kind of didn't renew my membership in the group and just involved in the tango community. But again, there's a downside to that, as in your case, you meet people and you form a friendship with people and you like people, and 2, 3 weeks, 2 months later, they're gone. Yeah. And you may or may not see them again.
So how long have you been in Buenos Aires?
I have been in Buenos Aires now for 20 months. 20 months. Yes, almost 2 years. December 16th. It'll be 2 years.
Must have been a lot of tourists come by.
Yeah, yeah. Primarily in the tango community.
Right.
Yeah, a lot. It's just amazing the number of people I've seen come and go. It's my accumulation of the steps. Well, most of the steps that I've learned since I have been here. In Buenos Aires, I tried my best to write them down step by step. I have the date in which they were imparted to me, and here I have pictures of various dancers just for inspiration. Martha Graham, Fred Astaire, Judith Jameson, Arthur Mitchell, Nuria. And as you can see, steps, right leg, left leg, gancho, sacada. It's difficult to go back days, months, or weeks later and remember specifically how these went, the timing, the balance, etc. But with a practice partner and reading them over and over and over and stopping, because most of them are just the basic components that you just might do in a different way.
Si hacías esto, si tú, el izquierdo, atrás, no puedes hacer esto, no puedes mover. El problema es que si tú tienes el hombro aquí, vas a hacer esto. Si tú tienes el hombro atrás, no puedes hacer esto.
So you can still very much enjoy dance, even with a quote-unquote bad dancer, versus...
In the context of
right, and sometimes you dance with like technically perfect people who are like basically sterile in terms of emotion. You know, you dance it, yes, they are musical and everything, but you didn't feel anything when you were dancing with them, not even as much as with a bad dancer sometimes. I'm not saying that you don't need good technique, but you do. But that's not all about it. I think a lot of it is human interaction, trust level, the friendship. I would dance with a very old friend who's a terrible dancer versus, you know, a better dancer that I didn't really know well and thought was a seriously questionable personality.
From my perspective, we don't need to memorize. We don't need to figure out what's next.
Yes, but on the other hand, tango is like a language you should learn. Some signs you have to learn what it means, because in another dance it would mean something else.
No, what I'm saying, what it means is really reflects by your body.
Yes.
And you communicate with your body, with your motion. We act with your body. So in a nutshell, you have less to take care of as a follower. You don't plan.
Oh, no.
You just being spontaneously, I do here. It's in front of me, I do here. It's in front of me. I mean, I do have options as your experience. Then it's like a reflex to me, like somebody who cooks very easily. They don't need to think a lot, just grab stuff.
So how long have you been here for then?
It'll be 1 year in total. I've been here 6 months. I'll probably stay another 6 months more.
And you were originally planning on being here?
For about 6 weeks.
6 weeks, 6 months because of Tango.
Well, I came for Spanish, and I'm staying for Tango. So I went to one milonga, and I didn't particularly like it, my first experience with Tango. It was very dry. It was kind of like older people. I didn't really like the music. And then...
Well, you were just sitting though, right?
Huh?
You were just sitting.
Yeah, I was just sitting watching, yeah. When I got here, I had the idea to take one tango class because I dance salsa. So I thought it would be a good crossover to help my salsa footwork. And then I came here, took one class of tango, and I've been hooked since then.
What clicked with you that didn't click that first night?
I didn't dance the first night, so that made a big difference. And so the first time I danced and had a connection with somebody dancing tango. It was nice. Dance is actually not the best part of tango for me. It's not actually the physical movements, because if I want to do that, salsa is a lot easier to learn and do the physical movements. There's a lot easier dances to do. It's actually like the really good parts about tango.
No, go for it.
The really good parts about tango are more about communication, that you find somebody that you haven't really spoken to before. And it's the same thing with salsa. I can go out to a place and dance with somebody that I haven't spoken to. And we can dance and we can communicate in a way because we have a common language. Tango, you can do the same thing, but with a deeper connection, a deeper kind of experience. There's more vocabulary in tango than there is in salsa. Because the embrace is closer, the music's slower sometimes. Yeah, for those reasons, I find that the connection is deeper in tango, and that's why I dance tango.
What sort of people did Tango attract in Hong Kong? People like yourself?
Yeah, professionals in Hong Kong, mostly professionals. Age group, I think anywhere from 25, usually late 20s, to the late 30s. That's the core group right now. But occasionally you have the older, like in the 40s and 50s. But a few, not that many. So the community is very young in Hong Kong. Yeah.
How do you think most people get into it? Sort of similar, just
Yeah, movies, and then friends brought friends.
Yeah.
And it goes around. And sometimes you have tango shows in Hong Kong.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like in the festival or something.
Uh-huh.
So after people seen the show, they wanted to learn, and they just look up all these websites on the internet. Yeah.
So would you describe tango as more of an addiction or of a hobby?
To me, it started off as a hobby, but it slowly turned into an addiction, I think. Yeah, for a while, for 2 or 3 years, I was really addicted to dancing. I danced whenever I could. Now, with music, with tango, with increased knowledge in tango music, I don't need the dance so much anymore. So it's really okay for me just to sit at home and listen to the music, or go to a milonga and sit and listen to the music. Yeah. For a lot of people, it's an addiction, and for some, it's an obsession, really. Because I guess through tango, through the connection, when you dance with someone, it brings up certain feelings inside of you. But then it's personal. Only the dancers themselves will know what feelings they are. Sometimes they don't even know, but there's something very psychological or unconscious about tango. Yeah, I guess it's because it's so nostalgic. It's always about lost love, family, the country, and all that. So everybody has that sort of feeling in themselves. So when they dance, they're able to connect with these feelings, which somehow they just can't do when they're at work or when they're going to a bank, or in the supermarket. So I guess that's what it is. Yeah.
I agree with that a lot.
Yeah?
That was a good answer.
It's what?
A good answer.
You think so?
Yeah.
Well, I think there are better dancers. Better answers for some people. Yeah.
Well, it's individual.
Yeah. I guess, if you discover what it is that attracted you to tango, and then slowly you dance, or you see it in a different way.
Buenos Aires querido, cuando yo te vuelvo a ver, no habrá más pena ni olvido. El farolito de la calle en el que nací fue el sentinela de mis promesas de amor. Bajo su quieta lucecita yo la vi, a mi bebé tan luminosa como un sol. Hoy que la suerte quiere que te vuelva a ver, ciudad porteña de mi único querer. Oigo la queja de un bandoneón, dentro mi pecho pide rienda al corazón. Y Buenos Aires, tierra florida, sol de mi vida, terminaré. Bajo tu amparo no hay desengaño, vuelan los años, se olvida el dolor. En caravana los recuerdos pasan, con una estela dulce de emoción. Quiero que sepas que al evocarte se van las penas del corazón. La ventanita de mi calle de arrabal, donde sonríe una muchachita en flor. Quiero de nuevo yo volver a contemplar aquellos ojos que acarician al mirar. En la cortada más maleva una canción, dice su ruego de coraje y de pasión, una promesa y un suspirar, borra una lágrima de pena aquel canetar. Mi Buenos Aires querido, cuando yo te vuelva a ver, no habrá más pena ni olvido. El farolito de la calle en que nací.
Music, tango music, yes. My grandfather listened to tango a lot, so he sang all day tango.
Wow.
That was like my first approach to it.
Do you think that like the pace of life or the way of life in Argentina hasn't really changed so far from that feeling of the older tangos? Like it kind of has that sentimentality of being a little bit more.
No, because I think that the tango lyrics are like real stories that people live every day. Like if a girlfriend or boyfriend leaves you, you're sad and you want to get drunk and all kind of stuff. The feeling is not so different. Maybe the way to say it or express it, but not the feeling.
It's still relative.
Por la clásica llamada que hoy alegra la ciudad, por la clásica llamada que hoy alegra la ciudad, por la clásica llamada que hoy alegra la ciudad, por la clásica llamada que hoy alegra la ciudad. Van por la acera.
Un barco muy acolchonado, hay funcionarios, el sonido es malo, pero el corazón es grande. Tripa. Vamos a...
How long have you been singing and playing?
Hace 4 años, 4 years.
4 years?
Yes.
Only 4 years?
I started with the guitar at 19. Now I'm 32. But with this band since, yes, 4 years, 5 years.
Growing up, did you listen to tango music?
Excuse me?
Cuando creciendo, did you listen to tango music?
When I was a boy?
Sí, and when you're growing up.
Sí, claro. Siempre el tango was present in every step I made, no? I love rock. I hear a lot of rock, but we can't deny this culture, our culture. You know, tango music is our own culture, and it's a shame that young people even know that music exists. You know, it's really strange.
Did you have any favorite milongas when you were dancing?
Yes, Sunderland.
Really?
Sunderland. Yes, I love it.
It's very far.
It's far, but it's nice.
Yeah.
Because they have good musicians, and you have the really deep dance.
Milongueros.
Yeah, the really milongueros. I saw a lot of them there.
Mm-hmm.
A woman of 18 years old, of 80
years old.
Yeah.
80.
Yes.
Wow.
Dancing really good, and with another expression, you know. We are like standardizados now.
Standardizado.
Yes, we are like
Standardized?
standards. Yes, the old milonga way of the old way of dancing tango.
Yeah.
It's not easy to find that, you know. I think that there you can.
Yeah, well, the nuevo style with like lots of flair and different
Yes.
styles. You don't like it?
Ballet, no.
Yeah.
No. Milonga is here, peace, the ground.
Yeah. So you don't miss dancing tango at all?
Yeah, a little.
Oh.
It's a mixing of a lot of cultures. The people who live here arrived. My grandparents came here 1 century ago.
From Russia.
From Russia, in this case, but we are a mixing of many cultures. We are all grandsons of immigrants, and it makes us a mixing of a very emotional people and very melancholic in some way, and very dramatic people.
Because you're a mixing?
I don't know, but that was the mixing, no? Because people who came here like immigrants, they didn't decide to come just only because it's nice to go to Argentina. Usually, like my grandparents, they came here escaping, avoiding the hunger and the war and the persecution.
Persecution?
Because they are Jews, yeah.
Yeah.
No, well, you can read it. I dedicate this CD to the memory of my grandparents who came to Argentina escaping from hunger and persecution, and who inhabited this land with love and hope. Yes, I think that I feel and I see that many people, many young people start to connect with the tango people because of the electronic tango music. Now, many years ago, tango was something really old for the young people, and not so young also.
It was really old for you
because,
too?
Yeah, for me also. My father was a tango fan, and he used to dance also tango, but I am of the rock and roll that in the beginning was horrible.
How did you break that barrier across the other side of?
Well, because I was traveling in that moment, and people from outside Argentina were more receptive for my music than here in Argentina.
Why is that?
Why?
Yeah.
Well, because here is the history is in the baggage, a big baggage. Well, the people used to be more traditional, and they used to say that if they play, some of them told me that I like your music, but if I play here, people will come to insult me because of then I can't play your music.
Oh, okay.
That was the beginning. It was hard.
Yeah, so that's why you sort of had to travel to.
Yeah, well, I was traveling, and I could see in that moment that another people have the different perspective about the music, and only in one place here, that was La Catedral. And also La Catedral inspired me a lot to make how people was dancing without such a show off. Just dance for dancing and experiment and playing and having fun.
It inspired your music.
Dancing, yes, of course.
But so then, how did they finally accept it and play it? What happened that? They changed their
many
mind?
people from outside from Argentina that they came because in this moment maybe the people that goes to the milongas are 50% of foreign people and 50%.
Now or back
well,
in
not this month because it's not a lot of people this month in Argentina. Not many tourists. But you can see that there is less people in the milongas when are not tourists here.
Yeah.
Then
There's still a lot
many
of
people
tourists in milongas now.
Sorry?
There's still a lot of tourists in milongas now.
Are tourists, but next month will be more. And many people from outside start to ask for the DJs. Why you don't play Narcotango or Otros Aires or Bajo Fondo? And well, then they usually ask to the people what they want to hear or to dance. And they start to see that in every place that we play, or every milonga that we play, a lot of people goes to dance and enjoy it.
Yeah.
Well, then they had to change. It's popular basically for the dancing, not for the music.
But
for dancing, it's accepted. Well, it's a marriage, no? But people goes to tango for dancing. We don't go only to play to tango places around the world, the festivals. Maybe we go to jazz festivals or some promoters that makes some theaters. It's not only the tango community that we go, but maybe if you don't dance tango, maybe you don't go to know about the tango music.
dancing. We dance we dance when we play. We are dancing.
Dancing with your fingers.
With all the body.
Yeah.
You cannot play if you don't dance. If you play a drum,
Yeah.
like this, nobody will dance. If you dance while playing, the people dance just like you. So you have to dance.
So you dance when you play the bandoneon?
Yes.
Yeah.
I try. After. So you have a bulb. You can see here. I will show you first. This is handmade. If you press this, if you press this, you free the air inside, so it can open and close easily because it's not empty of air. If you don't, if you don't push, you have more resistance. So you play a button, you push a button, and it opens a little escape. So the air that is inside. This is the bulb that I show you.
Whoa.
Free the air. It has a hole.
Huh.
Big hole.
Big hole. Oh, big hole here.
Yes.
Here is a hole that is connecting to. Oh, cool.
And that's why it sounds loud. There's a lot of air.
Yeah.
It's big.
So if you just do that again, like really slowly, it'll be softer, right?
Softer, yes.
Ah.
And you have a lot of ways of playing. It's a very complex. The people in the building will discuss. Bueno, suena. In the piano you have do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si.
Yeah.
You have.
Wait, do that
All the notes.
Yeah. So you just went like down and back again?
Have this like square, like circles.
Circles?
Yes. And you have a path.
Huh.
So you follow the path. Your hand dance the circles. and it sounds like circles. If you hear, there are other kind of bandoneons that uses in Europe. You have the notes in this order.
Yeah, because it just depends on how they want to connect the buttons to over here, right?
Yes.
It's not really.
But
So then you can't play those bandoneons because you're not used to that order,
I
right?
can't. No. But they sound more German.
Really?
More rigid.
But I thought this bandoneon, the ones in Argentina are the same ones as the one in Germany, right? No?
Yes, in Germany, yes. But I mean the sound, the swing. Because you play this, and your hands don't do that.
Yeah, so it's just a different tempo,
Yes.
sort of, yeah?
Machines, because our music sounds like a machine. Tango sounds like. Pugliese said, I don't know how to translate.
Yes.
I will translate this and everybody will kill me. But Pugliese said, he said, I am a little bean of the machine, of the tango machine. Soy un poroto de la máquina tanguera. In the 40s, there were like 3,000 of orchestras. Wow. Everybody heard tango.
Yeah.
The young people and not that young and the old people. It was not segmented. Then the rock segmented. The music, the people.
Your style sounds different from like the old...
From the tradition.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. You're trying to anticipate the evolution of tango.
If Pugliese was alive.
Yeah.
No. And he had 30 years. I think he will be playing music like this. Without. Because the 40s tango reflects the reality of the 40s.
Yeah.
And if we do tango now, we have to reflect the reality now.
How does this reflect the reality of now? What reality?
I don't know.
Like the feeling?
Our vision of the reality. A little violent, very violent, cynic. I don't know.
So life in the 40s was a little bit more chilled out.
Quiet.
Yeah.
They had una corbata and they play. We can't do that. The art can be art when it's very sincere.
Yeah.
And authentic. Because you have to show in the piece of art, you have to show your vision of the world. So if you are authentic to yourself, very authentic, and you write every note thinking of yourself, so the entire piece of art will be you. La verdad soy yo. Los demás toquen su ponticello, viste, medio así, un blandito. Un lamentito. Sí. Pero no me tapen. Ya me lo toco bajito yo. Toquen despacio. Sí, toquen despacio, puto. Claro. Vamos. Sí. Vamos. De arriba.
Esperá que estamos en
Todos.
cualquiera.
Matiz. Sí, vos le puse también, matiz. El uno más bajito. O sea que lo único que hace fuerte. Lo único que hace fuerte son las dos primeras notas del segundo compás, ¿no? Escuchen.